Yo, what's going on, man? Today is May the 9th, 2023. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn Show live on Twitter. I'm also live on YouTube right now as well. You guys do me a favor, be sure to smash the like button as you guys enter. Real quickly, if you guys are new to the show, my name is Chris. I handicap NBA games. If you're new to the Twitter, definitely check out the YouTube page. If you're new to the YouTube page, definitely check me out on Twitter as well. I have a YouTube membership where you guys can get access to all my plays for $5.99 a month. If anybody's interested, there's a join button on the YouTube page, and if you can't find it, shoot me a DM and I'll send it to you guys. But it does come in handy, I think, as the members would probably say, because I am giving out lines immediately sometimes, and it comes with the analysis and the wrap up is the analysis and the breakdowns for the games as well. So hit the like button for me as you guys join, and let's jump right into it, man. First game up, and no recap for me at all yesterday. I didn't give out anything official. I talked about uh Quentin Grimes a lot yesterday. He did get to that number yesterday. I talked about his points. I talked about his threes. I talked about his PRA. Cashed the whole thing. If anybody, took him. Also talked about the Heat being the right side. I just didn't get there with them. Definitely left some money on the table there. But I didn't play the side, didn't play the total. And then in the last game, I didn't have anything official either. I did talk about, Lakers could potentially win the game, even though Golden State has done really, really well. And you guys know I'm excited. If you if you listen to anything that I've said about about my Los Angeles Lakers, man, I'm excited about the win last night. It was hard for me to sleep last night. I felt like a kid and Santa was on his way, and I could see him coming down the chimney or something. It was good, man. I'm excited about the Lakers and where they're headed specifically in this series. So let's jump right into it. We got a 2-game slate today, and I got a couple bets that I've fired off. I've dropped these already to my YouTube membership. The lines have moved, but we'll talk about them and get into them. So first game up, we have the Philadelphia 76ers heading back to Boston to take on the Boston Celtics today. This series is tied at 2-2 after the Sixers were able to hold on to that 16-point lead that they gained in game 4. Even though it went to overtime, you see the Celtics start to come back a little bit. In that first half, they did, like I said, get down to about 16. But simply put, I'm not going to take a long time with these breakdowns today. To me, this is a Boston Celtics spot. It's a bounce back spot. I've been talking about this all throughout the playoffs since this team lost their first game against the Atlanta Hawks in the first round of the playoffs. You just take the Celtics, in a bounce back spot pretty much every single time. So Celtics are 9-0 straight up and against the spread, coming off a loss, excluding the finals in dating back to the beginning of last season. And that's just the trend, right? That's just the trend. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen every single time. I sent this screenshot to the YouTube membership as well. This morning, actually, or it might have been last night. I think I did it last night after the Laker game. I went ahead and get the plays out for today. It might have been early this morning. I can't remember. Either way, the trend say, you back the Celtics here after losing the game, where I think it finished at about even last game. The line finished about even because money was coming in on the 76ers. So I think it was right at a pick. Celtics open as big favorites, 7.5. I mean, the books are, anticipating the Celtics to win by margin today. And typically we've seen the 76ers team struggle against this Boston Celtics team. So the Celtics have their issues, right? You hear, the post-game interviews with, Joe Mazzulla saying he told his guys that he should have called the timeout and that was his bad at the end of the game. They also just, struggle to figure out who that superstar is. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown kind of going back and forth. And then you also see the ball in Marcus Smart hands. It could be in Malcolm Brogdon's hands, Derek White's hands. They have a lot of guys that don't, necessarily have that lead alpha male on their team. So now it's the best of a 3-game series with the Celtics having 2 of those at home. They did drop game 1 at home, of course, with against this Philadelphia 76ers team. But of course, that was without Joel Embiid, where they play with a lot more pace. The X's and O's of this game, to me, it feels like what I'm going to see is, and this is what I kind of predict. I predict that the Celtics will get back into what they was doing in game 2 and game 3 of this series. And that was, if you guys remember those 2 games, they were pressuring the ball heavily, right? You make James Harden make a quick move. You see Jaylen Brown get out on him, and defend him. And you kind of call for that assignment after he dropped 45 in game 1, 45, 42, whatever he dropped in game 1. So I think we see a little bit more of that today. When the Celtics lose, it's typically their defense that leads to their offense as well. This team is covering the spread and only allowing about 100 points per game after a loss dating back to, the 9 times that it's happened in the playoffs, excluding the playoffs, so excluding the games against the Golden State Warriors in the finals. So the Celtics typically bounce back. They tend to do it early as well. We know that they were the best first half team in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure those numbers are still the same. And if you look, they have the largest net rating, the best net rating, and I think the largest points per the largest point differential in the first half as well. And that's how I kind of chose to play the game. I think that, I think the Celtics defense will propel them to be able to get out, run in transition, get easier buckets. I think that they shoot the 3-point ball a little bit better today than they did in the last game, even though they didn't shoot it too bad. I just think they play with a little more pace, try to run Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is also another key guy, to this equation, right? This team went to overtime. Joel Embiid is probably the least healthiest of the players, and going to overtime probably affected him the most, is what I would think. Also, a guy like James Harden, a little bit older in age, already, kind of losing a step. Boston is the younger team. They're the deeper team. They're at home, and they're, pretty big favorites. So I chose to back the Celtics in this spot. One other thing that I looked at home favorites that were laying 7 points or more in a game 5, coming off a loss in game 4. In the second round or later in the playoffs, those teams are 18-5 straight up, 15-8 against the spread. That 65% says that the Boston Celtics cover this game today. 8 of the last 9 have covered, and 9 of the last 11 have also covered in this situation specifically. So that's home favorites of 7 points or more. In game 5, coming off a loss in game 4. In the second round or later in the playoffs, 18-5 straight up, 15-8 against the spread, 8 of the last 9, 9 of the last 11. How I chose to play the game, and the Celtics could, come out here and cover this spread, but how I chose to play the game was I took the Celtics first half minus the 4.5, because that tends to be their biggest margin. I also played the Celtics team total in the first half over the 56.5. And I played the Celtics team total over for the full game. They have gone over this team total of 110.5 in every playoff game so far this season. We know that the Sixers play with a lot less pace than the Celtics do, but I think the Celtics, just are able to score in this spot. I think that you attack James Harden, you attack Maxey on the defensive end, you play with a little more pace, and you get the job done. So I can see this. There is a scenario where the Celtics struggle to score, but they also, play really top level defense, which is something that they do better at home than they do on the road. And then, the Sixers go under their team total, and the Celtics could potentially go under their team total. I just don't see it kind of playing out like that. That's kind of what I was thinking for game number 3 and game number 4. I was on the under in both of those spots, and both of them barely crept over. We hit the Malcolm Brogdon free throws on Friday to push the game over by 1 point. Absolutely crushed my heart. And then we had the same thing, a very similar situation happen where the Celtics, I guess they forgot that they could play defense until, specifically in the fourth quarter of game 4. And then they, really locked the 76ers up defensively. They battled all the way back. They took the lead, but then gave it up on the 3-pointer late in the corner. And of course, that total finishes at the 214 that we had it at the end of regulation. They go to overtime, and of course they go over. So I'm staying off the total, but I do think the Celtics go over their team total. I think it's their defense that leads to their offense in this game. So that's how I chose to play it. Celtics first half team total over 56.5. Celtics in the first half spread minus 4.5, and the Celtics full game team total over 110.5 would be my top 3 looks for this game. As far as player props, there's a lot to like in this game. I didn't play anything, if I'm being honest with you guys, but could not talk anyone off going back to what I should have probably went back to, which was Marcus Smart over his points, rebounds, and assists. They did push the line up just 1, but this is something that, this guy continues to cash on. I think it's 7 out of the last 8 games Marcus Smart has, went over this projection of 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He continues to find his teammates. He continues to get a few rebounds. Mazzulla's keeping him out there for 30 plus, 35 plus minutes every single game, and he's making the wide open shots off the penetration from Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum as well. He's been a beneficiary of a lot of those looks as well. So could not talk anybody off Marcus Smart to go over his points, rebounds, and assists. Also kind of feels like Derek White is due for a big game. He hasn't had one in quite a while. I was looking at his 3-point prop, and 1.5 was juice, but 3 I think was plus 250. Dude shooting, almost 40, I want to say 47% from the 3-point line throughout the playoffs. And he's been kind of teetering back and forth between hitting two and, hitting none, then hitting two. And I think three is probably in line for today, but it's not anything that I played officially. Also, Jaylen Brown, if you listen to the post game interviews, it's probably that time that this team makes a more concerted effort to give him the ball, throughout the game, not just the first game. We know how he typically starts games, but I think Jaylen Brown has a pretty big game today. I think he takes advantages of the matchups that he has with PJ Tucker. More so, he's probably going to be guarding um, Jason Tatum in this spot. So um, Jaylen Brown should be able to, even if he doesn't get the matchup that he like, he should be able to call for a pick and roll, get the matchup that he feels like he want the more advantageous matchup, whether that's James Harden or Tyrese Maxey. And I also think because James Harden has such a big game, he's of course due for some regression in this game. I don't think he's going to put up back-to-back games like he did in the last game. And I know I was heavy on Maxey in the last game. So I think this could potentially be the Maxey game. Am I going back to Maxey? Absolutely not. But I will only look at his points prop. I think it dropped the point. It was 19 and a half last game, and it's down to 18 and a half. So I'll be looking at Maxey to go over to 18 and a half. And as I said in the last game, wouldn't surprise me if this dude went for 25. It wouldn't surprise me if he went for 30 because James Harden got absolutely clamped up. I don't see James Harden putting together back-to-back performances like he did in the last game. So those are my thoughts on the game. Like I said, one more time, Celtics first half team total over 56 and a half. Celtics on the spread first half -4.5. Celtics full game team total over 110 and a half is how I chose to play it. But I can see him covering the spread in the full game and winning this game as well. So those are the ways that I kind of like this game today. Moving on real quickly to the Phoenix Suns and the Denver Nuggets. So now Denver is laying 6.5 points the last time I checked. Total is at 227.5. It looks like it's the consensus. They're also back home, similar to the Boston Celtics. Home favorite, game 5, coming off a loss. And this Denver Nuggets team has looked really, really good coming home, man. They a lot of people are bullish on the Denver Nuggets, thinking that the Phoenix Suns just aren't going to be able to kind of keep it going as they have been. Also, just I think they just feel like they don't have enough depth. And that wasn't something that I was willing to play in game 4. I thought uh, Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, quite simply put, were enough to be able to win you a game at home. And that's, literally what we saw outside of, the efforts that they got from Jock Landale. And of course, cannot we be remiss without mentioning what Landry Shamet was able to do in the fourth quarter, where he hit 4 threes. He finished hitting 5 threes. And I think he outscored this bench by himself, I think is what I had put in my notes. Do I see that performance happening again? Absolutely not. I don't think that that's something that's going to replicate itself at all. And I think that we get back on, you see the Denver players actually, step back up and take on the role where their role players are playing a little bit better. So what I had in my note for this game is that Phoenix bench outscored Denver's 40-11 in game 4. I think that's an outlier. Landry Shamet had 19 points. Phoenix bench hit 7 threes, with Landry Shamet hitting 5 of those. And he had 4 huge threes in the fourth quarter. It looked really, really closely to what we saw from Lonnie Walker in yesterday's game. Devin Booker had 36, had 36, I'm sorry, and shot 14 for 18. I think all of these are, pretty outliers type numbers. Can Devin Booker do it again? I think he absolutely can. Does Mike Malone make some defensive adjustments? I think that he does. We saw Kevin Durant and Devin Booker struggle a little bit more because your defense tends to play a little bit better when it's at home in games 1 and 2. So also the Suns, they won the offensive rebounding battle, the defensive rebounding battle. They shot 6 more free throws. They had 10 more fast break points and nearly doubled Denver in threes with 13 compared to just 7 from the Denver Nuggets. I think all of those are outlier numbers today. I did hop on Denver immediately when the spread opened. I gave it out to my YouTube membership when it was -4.5. As soon as the game went off, I dropped this one in the chat the other day. And I think the Nuggets win this game. I don't know how comfortably they win it, but I do think that they win by margin, bigger than the spread is right now. It wouldn't surprise me if they win the game by, 8, 9, 7, between 7 to 10 points, especially late. So I think we see, Jamal Murray play a little bit better at home. That's something that we saw in the first round where he struggled a little bit on the road in Minnesota. I also think the role players play better. KCP, he didn't hit a three in game 3. So I think guys like him, Bruce Brown, Christian Braun off the bench, right? Jeff Green off the bench. Jokic continues to do what he do. And then Aaron Gordon had a bad game in the last game. All of these guys are probably going to be ready for this game. And shout out to the league for not suspending Jokic for this game with the little shove that he gave. In game 4. So that's how I see the game. Only thing that I played was the -4.5. It's a pretty I always give everything out as a 1-unit play, but I really like that number. So we'll just say it's a 1-unit play. But I like the Sun. I like the Nuggets today. -4.5 is what I got it at. As far as the total, I've been wrong on the total. I actually 1-1 on the total. I got the game 1 total right, where I took the over 227. That game was flying over the total, and then it slowed down late. And then I also played the total in game 3. I played it under. And you see, with no Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant are really just pushing the pace. They're flying up and down the floor. The problem with that, and what scares me off of the total to take this one over, even though I think that this game will continue to be played with pace, is that I don't feel like the Suns will be able to score as many points as they did in the last game. Outside of Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, I don't see a lot of those other guys really stepping up. Can they? Absolutely. Would I, be willing to put my money on it? Absolutely not. And then the last couple things that I wanted to mention is just this: Denver, throughout the postseason, so far they're 5-0 at home, 4-1 against the spread. The only game that they didn't cover was when they were 10-point favorites against the Timberwolves in game 6. In game 5. They won that game by 3 as 10-point favorites. But the other 4 games, they covered pretty easily. A couple of those games by double digits. And they have a 14-point margin, 14-point win margin at home. So a 13.8. So you can say 14-point win margin at home. Also, just looking at Denver at home in totality for the entire season, with Jokic in, this team, when Jokic played at home games for the Nuggets, they were 36-4 straight up. That's 90% of the time. They covered the spread in 66.7% of those games, going 26-13-1. That's just some numbers that I'm willing to live with, man. Give me Denver minus the 4.5. Like I said, I didn't play player props, but I'll go out on a limb and say that, Devin Booker probably continues to have a really, really good game. It really wouldn't surprise me if Kevin Durant was the guy who actually stepped up. Jokic has been going over his points, but I think that's exactly what the Phoenix Suns want, is to kind of tire him out and make him do all the scoring, because then he doesn't get the other guys involved. I don't know if that happens again today. I think this could be a game where Jokic probably gets his points as well, but at the same time, probably, trying to look to get some of those other guys involved, so it's not just this, 2-on-1 type show. And this series really has been that. I listened to I forgot who it was. I listened to somebody talk about this yesterday, and they said this series is really like a 2-on-2 battle. You got Jamal Murray, and you got Jokic on one side, and you got Devin Booker, and you got Kevin Durant on the other side. And it's really just who is going to step up, outside of those 4 guys in this 2-on-2 battle. And I think the role players just play better at home for both of these teams. So, like I said, give me the Nuggets minus the 4.5. Official play for me. Didn't touch the total at all. Didn't touch any player props, but I think it's a player prop galore game, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have some player props. So those are my official plays. 4 official plays for me all together. I'll post them at the bottom. But just in recap, going back to the first game, I took Boston first half minus the 4.5. Boston team total for the first half over 56.5. Boston full game team total over 110.5. And then I also locked in Denver minus the 4.5. So hopefully all the members, got those plays, specifically the Denver game, got those plays in before the line moved too much, because I did see this line touching 7 a little bit earlier. And I'll go ahead and say this. I know most people probably know, but Chris Paul has been ruled out. I think we touched on it yesterday when the news broke that he was going to remain out with the growing areas, with the pull growing. So That's all I got for you guys, man. Hit the like button for me if you guys got in. If you guys got in late, and send me a request if anybody got anything that they want to share for today. And I'll go through the YouTube comment section really quickly. What's up to my guy Sean? Appreciate you being here, Sean. Always positive vibes with my guy Sean. David said that the membership is worth it. Y'all spending more on coffee. I appreciate that, David. Appreciate that for sure, man. What's up, 3-time? Ali in the chat as well. Matt, what's going on? Jeffrey says those Knickerbockers are frauds, like I said at the game too. Josh is with me on Boston, minus the 4.5 in the first half. He took the full game as well, minus 7.5. Let's see. What else? Hey, positive vibes in the chat, man. I'm at a point in my life where it feels good to be this way. Where if it's not positive, then I just typically block it. Like, the Kimbe. No. So if you send anything in the chat, I don't care if it's not about me. It could be about some of the guests that I got. It could be about one of my plays. Anything, right? Like, we all here to win money. We all here to help each other. We all here to encourage each other, which is why I give a platform to others. So if you don't got nothing nice to say, man, like your mama said, just don't say nothing at all, man. Keep the negativity for something else, man. Get you sipping some of this positivity, G. All right, cool. I'm ranting right now. But yeah, I just saw something in the chat and I don't like that, man. I just don't like the negativity. Vaughn says Brogdon is smart, over 21.5 PRAs all day, every day. What's up, Star Child? Fremont says, what's up, big bro? Hope you rolled with me on the Lakers last night. I did not take the Lakers last night. I was off the game, man. The Lakers should have lost. We absolutely should have lost that game. But shout out to Lonnie Walker, man. He said the Lakers not losing today. Love Lonnie Walker. I'm actually going ordering a jersey. Probably tonight. I need a Lonnie jersey. Let's see. Star Child says, I do like the Celtics first half. What up to S Dot? S Dot has made a lot of money with the Heat. This dude comes in here and talks about taking the Heat every single game. He don't care what the number is, if they favorites, if they dogs. He just take them every single game and they just keep cashing. I think they something like 7-1, 6-1 in the playoffs, straight up and against the spread. So shout out to S Dot as well. All right, I can't get to all the comments in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys for dropping them though. I don't want to make the show too long. What's up to my guy Capper in the chat as well. Yep, these are the looks that we talked about yesterday. RC, these are the looks, my brother. I hope you played them too, so we can all cash. Hopefully you liked them as much as I did. John says Mike Malone sounded desperate for some bench help in the media interview. Said he would pay Peyton Watson. Said he would play Peyton Watson if he has to. I like that mentality, man. You see, as these series go on, especially when these coaches find their backs up against the wall, desperate time calls for desperate measures. I think we've seen this with, Thibodeau talked about it last game, even though he didn't roll out Evan Fournier, which I wouldn't either. Evan Fournier can't guard nobody. But desperate times definitely call for desperate measures. You see Steve Kerr kind of finagling with that roster, putting guys in, trying different things. It's a lot of desperation. And just to be clear about the Denver Nuggets, while I love them in this spot, they are in a desperation spot tonight. The pressure is on Denver to win this game. It absolutely is, because you don't want to go somehow find yourself in a position where you're going back to Phoenix with them potentially winning this series. So I do think, like I said, desperate time call for desperate measures for sure. But yeah, this is the time where we kind of get into, what everybody else is on. I actually need to make a banner so it'll be easier, to kind of find as well. Let's see. I'm gonna put a banner up at the bottom so you guys can see it as well. And then I'll also place my bets at the bottom so you guys can see those as well. First up, Dream is on the mic. What up, Dream?
What's the vibes, my guy?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Can't complain, man. Quick recap of yesterday. 3-1 was a Randall hook away from 4-0. So, Julius Randall just fouling out. Like, why would you? Anyway, so I'm trying to keep it up, man. I'm gonna try and keep it up. My plays today. My blunt money best folded too. They ain't do well last night, but So yeah, man, my play square as hell today. Boston first half full game minus 140. You can get it 145 at PointsBet. Last time I checked, it's just that they win both, partly together. Same analysis as everybody's saying. Expect Boston to come out and dominate today. And even if they win the first half by one and the full game by one, you still win the bet. So I like it. Did the same with Denver. I actually locked all these in like as soon as they was available. So that's why the lines may be a little better. But yeah, did the same thing with Denver. First half full game. Yeah, it was times where Denver looked like the better team in Phoenix. And to me, at no point did Phoenix look like the better team when they were in Denver. So I expect Denver to roll tonight. I did what every square person on the planet did. Did a money line parlay with them too. The Denver first half full game was plus 105, by the way. Last time I checked, it was plus 100. I went back to KD PRA over 45 and a half, 45.5, 45 and a half. Minus 120. Last couple games, he damn near got 60. I expect the role players from Phoenix to have a drop off. I don't expect Kevin Durant, one of the greatest players of all time, to have a drop off. So I expect his usage to be the same. Shot attempts to be about the same. And if I'm gonna get 30 plus tonight from KD, which I expect, I'm gonna play that PRA. I think I'm gonna get about 10 boards, 6-7 assists. So I love his 45 and a half PRA. And we're going back to book. I'm gonna leave them threes alone, but I'm on the points, 31 and a half, minus 125. Why not? The guy had 36 on 18 shots, and I don't know if it's just Jokic, just food. I don't know if it's because Aaron Gordon is guarding KD, so he feel like it's nobody to block his shots. But bro getting the ball and he going. He getting to his spots. He doing layups. He getting in the lane, doing floaters. I mean, it's looking like he doing drills out there. So give me book over 31 and a half again. I expect the starters, well, not the starters. I expect the superstars to do what they've been doing. I just think Phoenix is going to struggle because, the bench players. So a couple blunt money bets. First off, I got a plus 60,000, which I never do. But I got a plus 60,000 on my timeline. Y'all can check that out. I ain't going to go through that, but it's like 7 legs. So, yeah. And it's from both games combined. But for the show, I like Jaylen Brown, 35 points, plus 650 on FanDuel. I played the 600. Well, actually, I played the 550. I don't know if I got 600, but I feel like I got 650. When I bet, the return looked like it was 650. But yeah, even if it's plus 600, I like Jaylen Brown. Probably for the same reasons I already mentioned. He only shot like 4 times in the fourth quarter of OT last game, and he's been doing this thing where he kind of been low, like not dry snitching, but like low key complaining. It seemed like throwing shots at Tatum or the coaching staff for like not involving him in the offense or going away from him. Because I don't understand how bro could be having like 13-point first quarters, 19-point first halves, and then just be finishing with 23 or 24 or whatever. So, home game, I expect him to go crazy tonight. Well, not expect him, but I would like to bet on him to go crazy tonight. So I took his 35 plus 600, and I don't know if the boy in here, I'm sure he's gonna give out the base play. I don't want to steal his thunder, but I took KCP 3-3s again. Played it game 1 and 2. Getting a great price on it, plus 380 last time I checked. I think he can cover this really easily. Can't talk you off to 1.5, but I got too much money tied up in these bets already. So yeah, I just sprinkled KCP 3-3s plus 380. That's what I'm on, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, Jane. Appreciate you sharing the looks too, man. It's it's the reverse. It's some of it. This is the the reverse of players playing well at home, and some of this is like stars gonna have to be stars on the road in order for the series just to be a series. So the D book over 31.5 points, no way I could talk you off, Jane. I think the PRA for KD is something that I'm probably gonna be looking at a lot today, man. I think Kate what deep so I think we should probably say this too. And I don't want to divert too far away, but what Devin Booker doing right now is special. This dude in the third quarter the other day was looking like Kobe. Like that's the closest thing I think you can describe him to. I hadn't seen anything like that in a really, really long time. Every shot that he made, he needed to make. Like they had no room for error. They were still losing at some points in that third quarter because Jokic was coming right back at him as well. And then in the fourth quarter, you see they start to double just a tad bit more. And he trusts his guys. He trusts his guys to, to make the right shot. And a lot of those threes that Shamet hit in the corner, specifically that left corner where he was just kind of camping out at, was off the Devin Booker assist when the double team came. So Devin Booker is something special right now, man. This dude is he's on fire. I also just love that he embraces this moment. I was listening to somebody. I can't remember who I was listening to, but I was listening to somebody and they said, after they went back home and they was down 0-2, like some players had their heads down, just weren't, like extremely confident. And Devin Booker like walked in the room and was like just smiling, like, this is what I live for. Like, I love these moments. Like, let's go have so much fun. And I just think like to have that mindset is like, that's next level, man. That's next level. So shout out to D Book, man. I like the D Book points, but I think Kevin Durant is due for one of those big games as well. I don't know when it's gonna be. I know, Aaron Gordon's a better defender. There's a better defender on him than there, of course, there can be on Devin Booker. Devin Booker is also trying to get his points in transition. He's trying to play with, a lot more pace rather than waiting for Chris Paul to deliver him the basketball. But I like that. I like both of those looks a lot, Dream. If that game's gonna be close, then it kind of feels like KD has to go over his points, rebounds, and assists, and D Book has to also go over his points if you don't expect this bench to, to play well. So like both of those looks a lot, Dream. And I'm gonna kick it back to you because I see your hand up.
Yeah, man, I'm tripping, man. I don't know why I'm being stingy. Yeah, so I sprinkle Harden triple-double again, plus 1,700. He's been close both games, 8-9 last game. And we talking about KD, I sprinkled this triple-double as well. I think it was 2 assists away. So, I think they both about plus 1,700, 1,700 were sprinkles. Love it.
Okay. KD triple-double, Harden triple-double again. Okay. Somebody, I think it was Scotty that mentioned that in the chat the other day, and I think it barely missed the other day too. So could not talk you off of that. And I think they had parlayed them together as well. Let me see what order I was in. I think it was Cam, then Stem, then Godspeed, and then Ben, then Finesse. Cam, you up first. You up next, my guy. What's going on?
Yo, what's good, man?
How you doing?
Yo. Can you hear me already?
Yeah, you good? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yesterday was a rough one, 2 hooks. Jimmy Butler missing that free throw. Screaming at the screen. I was just like, I had a feeling he was going to miss it too. He just looked like he was not interested. And of course, there was a few adjustments yesterday that really caught me off guard. Steve Kerr starting Gary Payton Jr. to lock up D'Angelo Russell. Didn't see it coming. So it's interesting when you look at the playoffs and you think about like adjustments and things that are happening. Coaches are making different moves. Like Josh Hart thought he was going to start. Nope. So it's just interesting adjustments. But at least we got the Jimmy Butler block in there. But keeping it simple. Today, I'm with Dream on the whole. I think the what's the word? Squares played out there. The Boston Celtics and Denver Nuggets money line. I'm on that as well. But I'm also on KCP over 1.5 threes. I like him at home. He hit on that the first 2 games I played it, and I do like him at home to get those 2 threes. Especially, you can just see the frustration from not just Malone, from Joker too. Just being kind of upset with like no help. And I think at home these guys are gonna try and let it fly. I know they talked about the bench help, but I look at KCP. He's not a bench player, but he's one of those role players you have to step up and help him out. So I have a feeling he'll be taking a few more shots tonight. So I did take his threes over 1.5, didn't ladder. And my one lean for the Sun side is just taking Devin Booker to 35 points. I haven't locked it in yet. But as JJ Redick said, this man is the most ethical scorer in the league right now. And you kind of nailed it with the Kobe comparisons. I messaged my boys at the same time, and I was like, I'm a huge Kobe fan, like massive Kobe fan. I think the only person I've celebrity I've ever cried when I found out he passed off. This is the closest we've seen. You used to get these comparisons back in the day, and it was kind of like premature. Nobody was paying it any mind, but now it's looking like he's got that whole mentality and taking over the game. But regardless of what he does tonight, I do think Denver wins tonight. I think it's going to go back to I think it's a 7-game series, to be completely honest. So I'm looking at probably taking his points up to 35 and just like playing a low unit on that. And yeah, sorry. And the other play, the one play I did lock in right is Tatum PRA. So I know all the noises around Brown scoring and all that, but I do think when that happens, it also will galvanize Tatum to just be a good player, just to show like, well, yeah, I know I'm probably taking more of the shots in the end, but I'm still the guy. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Tatum just have a great all-around game. Maybe he doesn't put up 35 or take a whole bunch of shots, but I do think he might look to get Jaylen Brown more involved. Kind of one of those things where it's like, all right, I'll defer to you. And that's the reason why I'm a big fan of like the whole Brogdon play normally. It's up to minus 135, so I'm not playing it because you could see an adjustment tonight from the coach. But at minus 135 over 14.5, it just doesn't feel worth it. And I think if Jaylen Brown's going to be taking a lot more shots, that's probably where they're coming from. Because Brogdon's taking a lot of shots too. So, yeah, officially I'm on Tatum over PRA and the Denver-Boston moneyline parlay and KCP over 1.5.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate the looks, Cam. I hope people heard you and got those in if they like them. Could not talk anybody off going back to KCP like me and Dream already talked about. Like the looks, Cam.
Hope we cash tonight.
Yes, sir.
Short memory.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Gotta have a short memory. Okay, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. One thing that that Cam just made me mention. I talked about this in the last game, and I've been burning myself where I don't go back to the player prop after I had a really good read on it the last game, and then it doesn't cash. I mean, it doesn't cash, and then I don't go back to it, and that's happened twice, right? I think if you were in the on Saturday when I did the show, I think it was Saturday, I gave out it was Saturday. I gave out Caleb Martin points, rebounds, and assists over 14.5, over 15.5, I think. And of course, he does nothing, doesn't make a shot. And then, of course, last game he cashes it, and I didn't take it. In the game before that, I think it would have been Jason Tatum, rebounds plus assists. This dude, for whatever reason, he just continues to crush this number every single time that he plays against the Philadelphia 76ers. I think he had 18 rebounds in the last game alone. So you just cash it with just the rebounds. Pretty sure the number hasn't gone up today, and that would be something that I'm looking to. I'll be looking to play today. It's Tatum rebounds and assists if I'm playing. One player prop in that game, probably Marcus Smart. Like I said, he's been a cash cow. That number is still a tad bit too low, even with them putting it up just one. So those are the two looks that I would be playing in that game specifically, first game. Stem, up to on you next. What's up, Stem? Then coming to you guys, Pete.
What's up, Chris? How are you today?
I'm good, my guy. How you doing, man?
Doing well. Had a nice night last night. I mean, Grimes cashed us out on 2 and 3.
Yes, sir.
We're hoping that we're going to get Jordan Poole to come through for the lotto, but he's a bum. Check it up. But,
hey, we can have a whole show about him, Stem.
100%, yeah. But your boy Lonnie Walker came through huge for me last night. He's a dog.
Thank God for him.
On to the next. Talking about tonight, I had a long day at work, so I don't have any lottos drawn up. I just wanted to get into some Sixers props that I'm on that are a little bit of a sneaky play here. George Niang, he's been phenomenal for us off the bench. His 2 and 3s are a little bit nuked compared to what they were the game before, but getting it at plus money still on DraftKings same game parlay. You compare that with a 2+ rebounds or 2+ assist leg. Really like George Niang for 2 3s tonight. Think he could get 3 as well. He comes off the bench and basically his only focus is setting a screen and rolling off right for a 3. So definitely would keep an eye on George Niang. Has some nice value. And then speaking of James Harden, I mean, I know he's older and that was a long game into OT, but we need him. If we're going to win this game, he has to remain aggressive, and I expect him to remain aggressive. 21.5 is a nice little spot for him still. I was expecting to see 23.5, maybe 22.5 this game, and hasn't really gone up too much. So I'm taking 21.5 over, and I'm going to play his alt lines a little bit too. We're not winning this game if James does not do his thing. So that's what I got tonight. Nothing too much. Let's cash.
Okay. Niang over 1.5 and Harden over 21.5. Hey, Stem, real quick, what did you get? What I know you said it wasn't. You said it got nuked a little bit from last game, but what did you get Niang 3s at 1.5?
It was plus 125 earlier, and it was about plus 240. I think it was last game. So it's definitely nuked up a bit, but for good reason. He's going out there, and basically his only priority is to hit some 3s for us off the bench.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. I saw. I guess Doc is having his press conference right now. looks like they asked him what will Game 5 come down to, and he said making shots. And they can put some lineups out there, Philly can, that can go on droughts, and they already play at such a fast pace, so they definitely gonna need his offense. I think that's a sneaky contrarian look, Stem, especially if he can get the minutes, if he can, actually guard, that'll help as well. Trying to stay in front of Tatum is not an easy thing to do. So, yeah.
Barring an injury, he's almost guaranteed to get 15 plus minutes, and that's all he needs to hit 2 threes. So, I mean, I definitely like the spot. I wouldn't go too heavy on it, but it's got some nice value. Definitely keep an eye on him.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to YBB, and shout out to Vaughn for tagging me in this. He says, don't shoot the messenger 10 of the day. Philadelphia 76ers are 0-8 against the spread following a game where James Harden scores at least 30 points. The under is 6-0 when he scores. When it's against the team he scored 30. When he scored 30 points against previously, I think. So that fits the mold for today. And they scoring 103 points in that as well. So like that look a lot as well. Appreciate you tagging me in there, Vaughn. All right, cool. Let's keep going. Godspeed, you up next, and then my guy Finesse, and then Ben. What's up, Godspeed? How you doing today, my brother?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. That Josh Hart was kind of fucking me up with the lineup yesterday, but we moved forward and everything. So I get one quick look. I'm trying to go in and out with the bag today. I'm on Jaylen Brown first quarter points at 7.5 at plus 104 on FanDuel. This series, we didn't see him come out hot. 3 out of the 4 games? I think he had like 14, 13, and 12. In game 3, he had, I want to say, 3 or 4 points. But I just feel like we going to see him come out aggressive after the interview. And like I said, he's been doing it. So I like Jaylen Brown a lot today. I like his points at 23.5 or 24.5, whichever one you want to do. Just like James said, I like his 35. I like the full ladder on JB. I just feel like he's going to be a dog. He's going to come out with that fire. If you really want to get spicy, and I mess with the first basket market a little bit. I like his first basket. If I had to choose for a method, I would choose his other or 3-pointer. But I'm all over JB today, and I think he's going to get that 8 points in the first quarter for me because he's taking about 7 shots in the first quarter. So if you give me 7 shots, I'm trusting you. Like you said, Jason Tatum's still going to be the primary focus for Philly. They're going to continue to try to make him come off the ball. So I like JB today.
Yeah, there's no way I could talk you off of that one, Godspeed. I don't really cap those first quarter markets, but that makes a lot of sense to me, just based on how aggressive he's been, based on how, based on the post-game interview, based on him only getting the limited volume that he got in the last game in the second half. So all that makes sense to me, man. Best of luck. I hope you cash it, man, for sure.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Finesse the Books is up next. What's going on, my guy? What up, Finesse?
What's good? Let's kick it to Ben first. He was up before me.
Oh, okay. My fault. Ben, on to you, and then we'll go back to Finesse. And then we got a special guest. I got Reem in the building. Ain't heard from Reem in a minute. What up, Ben?
Chris, I think you know where we're going with this.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Ayton is not working for the Phoenix Suns next year. I'm going to give myself a little comfort with this one. We're going to put it up to 14.5 or 15.5 and pair it with Booker and Durant to each go for 25. I got it at plus money earlier today. I think it's very possible that both of them see 25 shots. I mean, they've been cruising through this number the whole series. Ayton under 15.5 and Booker and Durant over 25 or 25 plus is hitting every game in the series. I wouldn't talk anybody off going 30 plus for both of them. I wouldn't talk anybody off taking Ayton under the 12.5 together with all those or separate by itself. And I wouldn't talk anybody off taking Ayton under 10.5 or reverse laddering it, pairing it with any of these. I don't really think it matters. I mean, Ayton got cooked by Jokic last game, and I don't know if they're going to have the patience this game to let him get cooked again as quickly as he did last game. Just because obviously with them being on the road, they can't let this get 8, 10, 12 all that quickly because the game's probably over if they're down by 15 points going into the third quarter, at halftime. So I could see them moving off Ayton pretty quickly. They've proven that they're willing to move off Ayton pretty quickly and just go to the bench with a different option. So we're gonna try to fade Ayton as a scorer today. But that's what I'm on right there. I'll say this: I already played something for tomorrow. I like the Warriors third quarter tomorrow as well. I think the Lakers come out and basically say we're either going to blow them out early or we're going to play for Game 6. So I just want to throw that out there before that line gets steamed up.
Yeah, I was looking. It's so funny you mentioned that, Ben, because I was actually looking into that earlier, and it makes a lot of sense. I was looking at the Warriors in elimination games, specifically when they're at home. They dominate in the third quarter. So if you wanted to put that in early, I don't typically play like those quarter markers early because I just like to see the flow of the game. And honestly, depending on the flow, it could bite you in the butt. But the other thing I looked at in correlation with that is how the Lakers play after LeBron James and AD have both played over 40 minutes the game before. And typically, like you said, it's a strong first half, and then the third quarter tends to fade off, and then they don't play in the fourth quarter because it's a blowout.
That is exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
Exactly. When they're on 1 day's rest specifically after those guys play a full playoff load.
Yeah, I listened.
Go
ahead, Ben. I'm sorry.
They were able to compete yesterday because they were able to get them out 33 minutes the game before, right? So they were a little fresher, but I think that they're playing for Game 6.
Yeah, absolutely. I heard you listen to the post-game interview right after the game, and you hear Bron say, "I'm tired as hell." So to me, that just lets me know that he probably chilling next game. You come back home and try to wrap it up in Game 6, hopefully. But I never count that Golden State Warrior team out. They got to be losing by at least 20, probably with less than 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter for me to count them out.
The other thing I'm going to look into also for tomorrow is how does LeBron do on the rebound line in games following 40-plus minutes in the playoffs in the last couple of years, because I'm probably going to look at it under there. If it's I haven't looked that far into it, but 9.5, I'll probably take the under there too.
Makes a lot of sense, especially if you're not going to play his full allotment of minutes because it's a blowout. And that line's moved already. I gave out a play for that game already. Gave it out last night ASAP. But yeah, I like the looks. I like the early looks, Ben. Third quarter tomorrow. So Ben, real quick, just for transparency, today, did you play Aiden points under 12.5 straight, or did you parlay that his under 12.5 with Devin Booker and KD to score 25 apiece?
I played my biggest play was the 25 plus with Aiden under 15.5.
Oh, under 15.5. Okay.
I altered it up just in case, I looked at that as 6 buckets and 3 free throws were still safe,
Got you. Okay.
But I mean, I still don't think he gets 12.5. If Jokic is cooking him, which, I mean, Jokic didn't even attempt to get rebounds last game because he knew he had to exert all of his energy offensively, right? So if he's cooking Ayton, I mean, they're going to have to try to change something, Not that this is a must-win game, but I mean, it goes without being said. I'll say it anyway. If they go home up 3-2 versus having to win 2 elimination games, obviously that's way different. So my guess is they're going to try to do something different against Jokic today. I mean, you're an idiot as a coach if you don't change something after a guy goes for 40 plus on you, right? So
you would think, you definitely would think, man. You would think, but it don't seem like it's been working that way. But we'll see. I appreciate the looks, Ben. I hope you cash these, man. Absolutely. All right, so let me come back to Finesse now, and then Reem, you up next. What up, Finesse?
What up? How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Actually, I'm great, Finesse. You know how I'm feeling, bro.
Okay. Yes, sir. I love it. I got a super late start to the day, so I'm not gonna, I'm not going to, overextend myself or whatever. I had some reads from yesterday. We talked about this prior to Game 4 in the Phoenix and Denver series. I thought regression was coming, and you said, "Listen, I think so too." But I think we delayed that for a game, and I think they can do it again at home, and that's exactly what they did. Which kind of goes into me wanting to fade them even more tonight. I'll die on this hill. What we watched in Game 4, like you said, was amazing. It was so entertaining to watch. The shot making was incredible. D-Book and KD, just incredible performances. That efficiency cannot be sustained. I think that's completely unsustainable. And I think going back to Denver, back in altitude, I think is a perfect spot for the unsustainability to catch up to them. So they can still have great games. They can still go for 30 plus, but that efficiency I don't think is sustainable, and I think that lends into Denver winning and covering the spread. I didn't take it as soon as it came out because I thought, listen, the public just watched the same thing that I watched. The public watched D-Book and KD be amazing. So I thought a lot of public money would come onto the Phoenix side, even going back to Denver. Hasn't been the case. The numbers remain pretty steady at 4.5, 5. So I'm gonna take the 4.5. Excuse me. I'm gonna take the 4.5. I think they win and cover this game back in Denver. Obviously a must-win game for both. So I don't want to say one team has more motivation than the other. You got the receipts, Chris. I think Denver is a better team in a lot of different aspects. I think they're deeper. I just think they're the better team. So I like the way Phoenix is playing without CP. Obviously, no CP3 again tonight. They're playing faster. They're playing freer. Everybody's getting everybody involved. Campaign is giving you quality minutes. The Jock Landale minutes, obviously, that Ben was talking about. And that'll kind of lead me into my next one. I faded DA as well last game. Cashed easily. He was on pace to go under a half, even after the first possession of the game, where he got like 3 or 4 offensive rebounds. Very first possession of the game. So the guy's basketball IQ is criminally low. He's soft as shit. Just from the eye test, from the stats. He just in terms of the rebounds. When the whole team is rotating on defense, just to lend to the basketball IQ, he'll be the guy to close out on a 3-point shooter super fucking late and just take himself completely out the equation in terms of rebounding. So I think we see more of that. Like Ben was saying, I think he broke it down really well. Just have been getting cooked by Ayton the whole series. That's a very bad matchup for Ayton. So Jock Landale, whether he's scoring, rebounding, setting screens, playing defense, he's giving you much, much, much higher quality minutes than DeAndre Ayton is. DA had 27 minutes, I think, last game, and that's still more than I expected. I thought his ceiling was going to be 25 based on what we saw, but Jock Landale still played 20-plus minutes. Like Ben said, you only have to think that Monty is seeing the same things that we're seeing. So there's really no good matchup for Jokic, but I think Landale's a better matchup for Jokic. I say all that to say this. I'm completely on board with people playing the Boston and Denver money line parlay. I think it cashes. I'm going to be on Denver, and I'm going to talk about right now. I'm going to also be on Boston. I've just seen so many people on it, so it makes sense to play it, right? You like Boston, I like Denver as well. Just play the shit. But I'm going to take a little bit of a different angle. So on FanDuel, DA under 25.5 points and rebounds, and the Celtics money line is minus 130. I got to shop around and see if I can make that pairing anywhere else to get a little bit better odds. I don't mind drinking that juice. That's probably going to be a 1.5 unit play for me. Boston is winning this game tonight. With a better team, it took some crazy ass shot making for Philly, and they won that game. They lucky as hell they didn't let us steal that game. I tweeted that as soon as we were making that run in the third quarter. They outplayed us in the first half, and we outplayed them in the second half. We outplayed them in the second half, except for that very timely shot making. And all you gotta do is tip your cap to guys like Embiid and Harden making those shots. So we're the better team. I still think we win both in Boston and take the series. So yes, I think we win. I would, we've talked all playoffs about teams that win are covering the spread in the playoffs over 80% of the time the last couple of years. So if I think they're going to win, obviously I think they're going to cover the spread, but 7.5 is a lot. I think that line is super telling where it opened up at. I know we're back at home, but still, that's a lot of points. So I think it's either going to be a blowout for us, or I think that number's going to be super sharp. So I just like taking the Celtics money line. So Celtics money line, that's probably it for now. I'm 90% there with Al Horford's points over 8.5. We were playing the over 1.5 threes early in the series when it was playable. Now it's not as a straight. I wouldn't mind pairing that with something else, but he's covered that in every game of the series except game 2, where he shot 1 of 8 from 3, 2 of 10 from the field. So he's going to keep getting open looks. We talked about it last game. It's the same cap. He knows he's going to get open looks. He knows he got to shoot him, both for Philly to respect him and to kind of suck the defense to him. So I think he's going to, the same thing. I think he's going to get 8 to 10 shots, which I think is obviously more than enough to cover an 8.5 point line. So that's just a lean right now. I'm 90% there. ones that I'm going to lock in are Denver minus the 4.5 and Boston money line pair with DA under 25.5 points and rebounds. And yeah, hopefully it's another good night. I appreciate you, bro, and hope everybody cashes.
Absolutely, Finesse. Same to you, bro. I think I like the DA under 25.5. If I'm playing a prop in that game, if I'm not wanting to take Devin Booker, that's definitely probably my second favorite player prop. Because like you said, I think, it was the writing was kind of already on the wall. It's real easy for people to want to go back to props that hit in the last game, but we got to remember that these teams gonna make adjustments. I don't know if there's an adjustment that can be made though. The only argument for Ayton, right? Because I like to see it with the glass half empty and half full, is that he's 24 years old, right? He's a little immature. 24 isn't, you still got a lot to learn about the NBA, even if you have been in it and played at, the highest level. It's still a maturation that, comes with experience and with age. So I think some of his disinterest on the defensive end comes from his lack of touches on the offensive end, right? They're not giving him the ball. They're literally treating him like he's Rudy Gobert, which is crazy because he can't hit, a little mid-range jump shot or something. But they're not putting any pressure on Ayton to have to on Jokic to have to guard anybody on the defensive end. So that's what I will say to Ayton's, to Ayton's credit. But if I'm playing his points rebounds, I'm definitely taking the under. They took the assists off. It's down to 25.5. I think it was it might have been 25.5 last game as well. But I like that number to go under. I'm with you there, Finesse, for sure. Just didn't play it. Come back to you, Finesse. I see your hand up.
Yeah, that's not the straight line. I wish that was a straight line. It's regular PR line is 21.5, which they've been creeping it down the whole series with good reason. That's an old line. So if it was 25.5, I play that shit under straight for a lot of fucking units. You know what I'm saying? But it's an old line on FanDuel. And yeah, I 100% agree. I think it's over 20 years type shit. If he's not getting touches on the offensive side, that kind of gets to him mentally. He kind of bitches and moans, and that affects his whole game. A guy like that with that skill and that size can impact the game in so many ways, and it seems like he chooses not to. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, very young. He got a lot of career left, but then weak ass floaters and then weak ass jump stops and shit like that's not gonna cut it, especially in this series. I just think this series is a super bad matchup for him. So we saw him have more success last series, and if they move on, he might have more success the next series. It's just a really tough series for him, offensively and defensively. So I 100% agree. Anyways, let's kick it to Reem, bro. My guy Reem. We, like you said, we haven't talked to him in a minute, so I'm interested to hear what he got to say.
Yeah, for sure. Reem, what's up, man? The floor is yours.
Yo, what's good? How y'all feeling?
Good, bro. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great. Lakers up 3-1. Can't feel no better right now.
Hey, it feels great, Reem.
3-1. I feel it's gonna be got some nice little looks on the game. I feel it's gonna be. I'm scared it's gonna be too blowout, so I don't really want to go too heavy on no props. But for that first game on the Philly side, I'm looking at Joel Embiid, 10.5 rebounds, covered in the last 4 out of 5 games playing against the Celtics. When he see 40 minutes, I'm pretty sure it's a decisive game. Hopefully it don't get ugly too fast. He should see 40 minutes. 4 to 5 games in the game he didn't cover. He had 10, and he was in early foul trouble. Another look I'm playing, I'm a ladder Derek White threes to 4 threes plus 750 right now. Just the fact I just want to have a nice angle. I know everybody on Jaylen Brown, which I don't knock. I got him in a parlay. Brought it down a little bit. I'm gonna play Derek White 4-3 to that 750 just on the fact that he just got made defensive player, second team all defense. His confidence should be pretty high. And like I say, I feel it's gonna be a rout. And with a rout, you know how they did the game too. They hit, man, 3 after 3 after 3. And with him seeing 30 minutes as a starter, I feel he can come out, get it 2 early, maybe get another one early in the third. And, that latter fourth got it possible before he get checked out. If you want to play his 2 threes, he's covered that in the last 8 out of 10 games against the Sixers. So, he's going to get the shots. They play in his zone. They trying to get Tatum and Brown with PJ and Harris. They got a pretty tough matchup, so they kicking it to the wings. As you see, Brogdon been on fire the whole playoffs. Al Horford. So at that plus 750 value, I'm gonna put a little something on that and hope we get him going. But that's pretty much what I'm on for tonight, bro. I know everybody on the Denver and the Celtics, which I am also. It's not, you can't lose these games at home. Going on the road down 3-2, and I feel both of the games can get ugly, bro. I don't think Devin Booker and KD can keep what they did at home up. That's some crazy shit they got going on. But that's 40-40. That's at the 80%, bro. That's I ain't never seen no shit like that, bro.
That shit is crazy, man. 40-40, no Hove bar. We ain't talking no nothing in New York. 40-40.
Yeah. No, but you going on the road.
the role players at home gonna hit some shots, bro. KCP gonna hit a few. Derek White gonna hit a few. I think it's gonna get ugly tonight, bro. We've been having some good NBA games the past 2 days. I feel it's one of those nights where everybody gonna Twitter complain. Damn, we got 2 blowouts. So I feel the Denver money line, Celtics money line play gonna do what it's do, and then Joel Embiid 10.5 rebounds. I feel the minutes should be there before the game get out of hand. So I'm on that, and then I'm gonna sprinkle on the Derek White 4 threes. Second team defense, confidence should be rolling. He should have a look. Should see at least six from deep. So them my look for the night, bro.
Hey, I like him, Reem. I like him a lot, bro. I hope you cash him too. You mentioned something. You mentioned 2 players that I think could both one player from each team that could potentially hit 4 threes. That KCP and Derek White, both with 4 threes. Dream could be the parlay of the night. Nice little 2-leg, probably at least close to 1,800 odds when you think about it. Probably bigger than that. I don't even know what it is, but Derek,
be bigger than that.
Yeah, 750 by itself. And I mentioned him at the beginning. I don't know if you was in here. I said, Derek White's been the guy. He's shooting. So for the series, he's shooting 36% from the 3-point line, 37%. He had a bad game 1. He had 3 in game 2, hit 2 in game 3, and 2 in game 4. So he's shooting great. He gonna get the open looks for sure. So it's just about a matter of if he gonna make them. And he done played 30 minutes in every game except game 1, and he played 27 there. So he gonna be on the floor and get the opportunities as well. I like the look, Reem. I like the look a lot on Derek White.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Lakers in 5 before I get up out of here, man. Lakers in 5, man. Lakers in 5.
Reem said Lakers in 5. They finishing it out tomorrow night. Okay.
Back to bags.
Okay. All right, cool. I think it's a hell of a show, man. Hell of a show. Van in the chat says Derek White due for a game. Van also says if you double Devin Booker and let KD go off, you have other plus defenders on the team. Phoenix can't beat you. So yeah, I think the last thing I want to say is this, man. Like I hear people come on and they talk about everybody on the same thing, or that's Square. First of all, Square plays cash. Public plays cash, and I keep saying this. I must make sure I just keep reiterating to people before you get on Twitter, man. Do your own research, do your due diligence, so that way you're not worried about what everybody else is on. You already know what it is that you like based on your research. You should never start by getting on Twitter first to say, oh, such and such capper likes this, such and such cappers like that, right? Oh, they both like the same thing. Now it's a Square play. It don't really matter, man. It does not matter. It's all about what you like. These home favorites that lose game 1, every single one of them have won game 2. Every single one of them throughout the playoffs this year. So when you see everybody on that, it's sometimes it's meant to be. And I'm pretty sure all of them covered the spread as well. Let me go back to Reem real quick. I see your hand up. What up, Reem?
Yeah, that's another thing. I'm glad you mentioned that, bro, because it's like you get on Twitter, you be like, okay, everybody on the same plate. But it's only 2 games.
Right.
That's where we have 14 games, bro. Like, it's not going to be too many plays.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not going to be 15 different plays. You can really pick from realistically if you want to make some money, bro. So if you come on, you see, he on that. I mean, we only got 2 games, bro. It's not too much shit you could be on and off. You know what I'm saying? So don't get discouraged by you saying like, damn, I'm scared to play this because the whole world, bro. So playoffs, there's only 2 games, bro.
No,
it ain't that many. Yeah, ain't that many options.
That's a fact, man. That was the last thing I was gonna mention. Everybody last night, man, I don't want to take Quinn Grimes threes. Everybody on them. Okay, well, you stay off of them then. Take PJ Tucker threes then. You want to be contrarian. Take PJ Tucker today in Boston for 5 if you can find that on Bet365. See how that treats you. Be contrarian. Real quick, let me get Frag up before we get out of here. Frag popped in just in time. What up, Frag?
Yo, what's going on, Chris? What's going on, man?
How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. What you? I know we on JB today. Talk to the people and tell them why, Frag, and whatever else you got.
Yeah, man. We getting on JB, man. I locked him in yesterday, 24.5. I'm seeing 25.5 for at the moment. I like the 30. Honestly, the 35. I just can't get there. The volume. I just don't see him getting the volume. That's the only thing that scares me with this team. They got Brogdon, White, Smart, Tatum. So I like the 30, but the 35 I feel like could be kind of like reaching. But I mean, I could see him getting it, but I'm just not going to play it. So I said the 24.5 and then the 30 for sure. And then 30 in the win was like 280 plus 280 on FanDuel for like the PPD, player performance double. So I put a little bit on that one too, just a little bit, like half a unit, like even a little less than half a unit. And then just 2 plays on the Nuggets game. I'm going Aaron Gordon, man. Half a unit on 1-3, man, just to make 1-3. I just like it, man. At the crib, KD gonna leave him in the corner. Phoenix is gonna settle with those type of shots. Aaron Gordon shooting 3, so I think he hit it both. In game 1, I think he might have missed in game 2, but he gets like 2 or 3 up, so I definitely like that. It's like minus 128. And then one more play is kind of ugly, half unit. The last 2 games, man, in Phoenix, I've seen a lot of people on campaign 1.5 threes at the crib, and he flopped both games. Don't be surprised he hits 2 threes on the road just on some just some reverse type shit. Like, everybody at the crib thinking he's going to shoot good at home. And then, he flops. He just flops. He completely scored like 6 points. He can't hit an open 3. And I think the shots, he going to get the shots today, I think. I was watching the game yesterday. There was multiple times KD had opportunities to pass, but he kind of just was in the zone. So, there's no reason to give it up. But I feel like if Suns want to have a chance to win the game, obviously D-Book and KD got to, cook, but they're going to need some production from the other guys. And I think campaign could be kind of sneaky for 1.5 threes. It's like plus 130. And I just kind of like it. It's just, it burned everybody last 2 games. I've seen a lot of people who are on it, just, scrolling through Twitter, seeing the parlays and this and that. I just think, when nobody goes to it, it's going to cash in like the first half, and people are going to be like, what the fuck? So I'm going there for that play.
Okay. I know you were on the Aaron Gordon 3 in the first game of this series, and I remember that one cash for you first. So I could see somebody like like Aaron Gordon. Like you said, Phoenix gonna live with that shot. They want Aaron Gordon shooting the 3 just based on percentages versus a guy like KCP versus a guy like Jamal Murray versus a guy like Michael Porter Jr. So that it's actually the guy out in the starting lineup that probably has the worst 3-point percentage. If you're playing the numbers, and that's what a lot of teams play the analytics. So makes a lot of sense to me. And if campaign hit 2 threes tonight, I don't know what I'm gonna do, Fred, because I played him. When was that? I played him game 3, and he looked like trash. And then I didn't go back to the well in game 4, and I'm glad I didn't. So we'll see what happens with him tonight. He could be the guy. He definitely gonna get the opportunity, right? Somebody's gonna get the opportunity for sure. And if Phoenix bench can play as even close to as well as they played in the last game, they might have potentially have a chance here today. But I like go ahead.
I watched the game. Yeah, my bad.
No, go ahead.
Like I said, I watched the game, and some of the looks he got were just, they're good looks for plus money. It's wide open. It's just you got to knock them down, and just I feel like the Nuggets are gonna. They might, switch it up to that. I think we might see some different coverages defensively, as far as maybe like really blitzing heavy, like really just trying to really get the ball out of their hands, and just in certain situations in the game, like when you really need to stop, we gonna blitz them. Like we getting the ball out of your hands. You're not shooting the shot. Like someone else got to shoot the shot on this, in this time. 3 minutes left, third quarter, 5, up 5. We need to stop. Shit like that. I think those are the spots. Campaign could possibly step up, and plus money. I'll live with it and see what's going on with it. It's not just something I just hit me in my head. I was watching the game, and I just kind of think it's a sneaky spot.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Now I like the looks, man. I like the looks a lot. It was one more thing I wanted to mention. I kind of forgot what it was, so I don't know. It's whatever. One other thing I did want to say real quick. Damn, I forgot what that was too. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. And Dream, you still up here? I don't know if you're available. Nobody mentioned Jokic today. No Jokic points over. No triple double in the win. No points plus rebounds. No assists. Being back at the crib, trying to get everybody else involved. What you got, Jay?
He on that lotto.
Oh, he on.
The reason why I ain't really look too much is because, man, I'm thinking that you're gonna get a KCP, a Maga Porter Jr., or a Bruce Brown game, man.
So it's assist then, right? Is Jokic assistant, right? He gonna have the ball in his hand like 98% of the time, right? It's gonna be whether he score or whether he looking to play make, right?
Yeah, so I sprinkle something with his assist, but after last game only having like 5 rebounds and messing up my triple double bet. I'm scared. I don't know what the hell going on.
Hey, that just means he gonna bounce back today, Jen. So he'll go back to having 17 rebounds again because we expect Denver to miss more shots, right? I mean, we expect Phoenix to miss more shots. Denver has been one of the better defensive teams at home. That defense doesn't tend to translate on the road. Especially when you're going against 2 of the all-time great scorers in the NBA history. So He'll watch. Nobody will be on his rebounds. He'll finish with 16, 17. He'll have a double at halftime. I'm pretty sure of it. That's just the way it worked, right? That's the way the cookies crumbles, man. So yeah, Jokic rebounds plus assists, I think is absolutely in play. Number probably like 23.5 or something crazy like that. I didn't even look at it, but I like Jokic today. I didn't play him. Jokic rebounds and assists, definitely gonna cash since ain't nobody on it. Tatum rebounds and assists, definitely gonna cash because I ain't heard nobody say that one either. So those would be the other prop looks. Probably my two strongest prop looks that I haven't heard anybody talk about today. Tatum rebounds and assists, Jokic rebounds and assists. Two home players today. Looking to go up in their series 3-2. A lot of pressure on these teams as well. So that's what it is. Well, why is this triple double plus money? I'm probably because he hasn't been getting the rebounds orders like one of the other CBD is the only thing I could think of. I don't know. I have no idea, honestly.
Because it's triple double hard as fuck to get.
That too, but I mean, he makes it look so easy.
It dropped 70. It dropped 70 cents. It was plus 200.
Oh,
Last game. It's like plus 130 right now. So next game it'll be right where it ended last season, minus 110, something like that.
no, that's a fact. That is a fact. They also play with a little less pace, but they're a lot more efficient. That's the thing about some of these teams. Some teams play, pretty slow, but they play efficiently. That's Boston. Boston doesn't lead the league in pace, but they do shoot, top of the league when it comes to true field goal percentage, effective field goal percentage, just regular field goal percentage, 3-point percentage. They just make a lot of shots. They don't need a lot of volume to get there. So that's how Denver typically plays. So yeah, I love the show today. I love the looks that we have as well. I gave out the 4 looks at the bottom. Boston first half, excuse me, the spread and the team total over. Boston full game team total over 110.5, and Denver minus the 4.5 as well that I gave out. I gave that out on Sunday. And for the people who are new, I'm always getting new followers when I do these shows. If you're new to Twitter, check me out on YouTube at ChrisBeCappinn 2 P's 2 N's. If you're new to YouTube, check me out on Twitter, ChrisBeCappinn 2 P's 2 N's over there as well. I do have a YouTube membership where I'm giving out looks. $5.99 a month will get you all my plays as soon as I lock them in, and it's really just a token of appreciation. But it is what it is. Appreciate everybody for coming through, man. We got some sharp looks from Dream, from Cam earlier, from STEM. Godspeed gave out a couple looks. Ben is on Aiden to work at the waste management site next year. Finesse came through, dropped some looks. Reem did as well. Frag did as well. A lot of great looks today, man. I hope you guys cash your tickets. First and foremost, enjoy the games, man. Enjoy the playoff basketball. This is the greatest time of the year. It's better than Christmas, damn it. It's like, no, I'm just kidding. But I really do enjoy this time of the year. Those are the 4 official plays for me. If I'm playing anything with a prop, I'm looking at Tatum rebounds and assists and Jokic rebounds and assists. Not official plays, but may put those in. And like I said, enjoy the games. Best of luck on all your action tonight, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow.